It's going to be a bright, bright, sunshiny day, so I'm out in the garden. I found 2 of these low tunnels sitting up in the attic that I had not used, and I'm going to basically use this to warm up the soil in this raised bed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this plastic here and kind of put a second row tunnel or low tunnel over on this side. If I can find another arch like this or something similar, I can go ahead and just attach the plastic onto that and make another section that'll probably fall just a little bit short of 8 feet. And that's going to be okay, because basically right now this is just going to be used to warm up the cold soil. And you might remember that I had put row cover on the other raised bed. What I can do is I can just keep that on it, or again, I can use these 10-foot long PVC pipes, and I have 5 of them for that raised bed, and I will be able to make what's called a covered wagon. So I just gathered this up and figured out where it needs to be cut and stuff it into the raised bed. There's a few things I can do. I can find, again, another hoop. I can add some 6mm plastic sheeting onto that. If I do that, I'm going to have to make sure that it is a tape that can tolerate cold and heat. But this is just fine. If I'm able to warm up that much of the raised bed, I could even, once it does warm up, I can take the smaller section and move it down a little bit. The downside of these hoops is they don't go very far into the ground. So if we get a stiff wind, this is just going to blow away. What I plan to do is, this again is folded into, I think, 3 or 4 layers. So I can open it up, make sure that I've got enough to cover that raised bed, and I will use different kinds of clips to hold the row cover down on top of that low tunnel. I hope that makes sense. I'll show you guys in this or another video. Another thing I can do is use that second low tunnel and make it into that 8-foot length. This raised bed that has the row cover on it now, it would actually be, it's going to be warm enough, and I don't anticipate the nights getting super cold. So this raised bed will be great for growing cool weather crops. And this one is going to allow me to jumpstart my warm weather crops. Okay, so here is the row cover over the low tunnels, and I've got them all secured, so I'm ready for the storm that's coming up later in the week. In another video, I'll show you how I make the covered wagon.